This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a big daily wrestling news update. It's still the 19th of January here in Kansas. So I've made it for Monday, where Raw was tonight, where AJ Styles, a guy that I once pinned 2 times in one night when he was IWGP champion, a belt that I'm holding right there. Apparently, he's having a match with Gunther at the Royal Rumble in a couple of weeks, where if he loses the match, he is going to retire. He's already said he's going to retire in 2026. I personally don't think it will be at the Rumble. I think they'll do some sort of angle where he can get out of it, because it's too early into 2006 to drop AJ Styles, because the fact of the matter is, they need people like AJ Styles because the newer wrestlers just aren't getting over. And I mean, they had tryouts this week, and I guess this gymnast, Sally something. Okay, again, I have a YouTube channel with almost 530,000 subscribers. I've been wrestling over 20 years. Have fought Kamala, Kevin Nash, Honky Tonk Man, AJ Styles, all these people. I can't get a tryout, but they'll give this little person a tryout, and then she'll quit and complain about it publicly on social media. So they're still in the business of giving people tryouts that don't deserve it. And I will say this, not one person from NXT so far has become a megastar. The last two wrestlers to get over to a better than normal level have been Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, both from Florida Championship Wrestling. There's been none from NXT. And again, Reigns and Rhodes haven't made it to the John Cena and Brock Lesnar level. They were OVW. I don't even think Reigns has made it to the Batista level. Which I don't think Batista ever had a formal retirement match. Come to think of it, Duke the Dumpster Droese is having a trial related to some controversial charges in Tennessee on the 26th. Ted DiBiase Jr. was in trial this week related to defrauding the Mississippi government, stealing from the poor, I guess, basically, is what he's being charged with. He could be facing over 10 years in jail. I guess this is related to Ted DiBiase Sr.'s Heart of David Ministries. They were given welfare funding that was supposed to go, I guess, literally feeding the poor, from what I understand, and they used it for some very questionable purchases. I know Senior was able to pay back an amount of money, from what I understand, and kind of get out of his charges, but the other son is having some issues, as well as Junior, who, it's sad because, as I mentioned before, Ted DiBiase Jr., he was in WWE around the same time as Randy Orton. Like he had potential. He gave up too early. By the way, some new pictures came out of Abdullah the Butcher's big birthday party last week. 85 years old, very poor. Like this is how many people showed up to the birthday party. It's crazy. Absolutely despicable guy, gotta say that. There's been some news this week for some reason, I guess slow news day. People were saying that Mickie James got fired after she had dated John Cena, as I wipe some milk off my beard. I guess Mickie James, I looked it up. It's true. I guess she did date John Cena. She also, I guess, it's funny. Before she was dating John Cena, she was dating Kenny Dykstra, also known as Ken Doane in WWE. He got fired when she started dating John Cena. And before that, she was dating Joey Mercury. It's questionable whether she's dated Punk or not. And of course, now she's married to Nick Aldis. But for the people saying that when she broke up with Cena, she was released, I mean, we've heard that that's happened with Batista. Batista dated a bunch of girls that were in WWE, and I think even some lower level ones that never made it to the main roster that were released, from what I understand, after they were done dating. So, I mean, that's just the thing. It works with guys too. Andrade, for instance, he was married to Charlotte Flair, and when they divorced, he got released. I mean, also, he was taking supposedly some banned substances, but how often do they actually release people for those these days? Because I don't know if AEW tests or not, but there's some huge wrestlers in both companies. And we definitely know there's a lot of different contracts for what you have to be tested for. Ron Killings turned 54 today. I guess Triple H cleared something up. He was not, they had that big hoopla, I guess, and I guess this is going to be part of WWE's next Unreal season. Ron Simmons, who's 54, he was, he put it out there that he was released, but I guess what happened, and then there was a big hoopla, and they signed him for an additional 4 years. And what have they done with him since? Nothing. But he played his cards right, because I guess Triple H has clarified it. They basically weren't going to renew his contracts because they were Triple H, according to him, he said they were talking about renewing his contract, but they were too far apart on money. And since he's getting older and he didn't appear to be that over, I guess they didn't want to pay him, so they just weren't going to renew the contract. But before he actually stopped working for WWE, he went on social media, played his cards well, said he was being released, blah, 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 blah. There was fan outrage. Suddenly, all the companies wanted to sign him, and he ended up getting re-signed for a huge amount of money. What have they done with him since? They made him shave his head, say he was going to change his name. He didn't end up doing that. Then he did this really stupid in-ring angle where he said he was John Cena's brother, which of course makes no sense. Then he got squashed by Brock Lesnar, and that's the last thing I remember him doing. I'm sure he's done a thing here or there since, but good for him for playing his cards right there. But it's funny that there was no point in time where he was actually not under contract. CM Punk's Night Patrol movie apparently bombed at the box office, made less than $200,000 on 800 screens, was ranked number 25. But apparently, I guess they put everyone at 25 that's not like in the top levels, because they bring up here that movies that weren't even in any theaters also are ranked number 25. So I guess Night Patrol did about as bad as you can do. But I'm sure CM Punk isn't getting paid according to how many people watch the movie. And I mean, good for him that he got an acting role. I'm not hating on him. I saw the trailer for it. I mean, I like watching older movies and movies that I know are classics. That way, because I don't like wasting my time. Otherwise, I like to just watch newer movies while I'm working, because to me, I find time to be very precious. So if that ever comes out on Netflix or whatever, I'll probably watch it. But it's also expensive to go to movies in theaters. And think about it. The Rock's Mark Kerr movie wasn't very good, and a lot of wrestling fans just went to that and were bored out of their minds, so they don't want to necessarily go out and see another movie. But hey, you know what? I might even go see it if it's playing here, just for the fun of it, because I haven't seen a movie for since The Rock's one. So if it's still out next week, maybe I'll go see it. That's Night Patrol, featuring CM Punk. Bam Bam Bigelow died 19 years ago today at age 45. Of course, like a lot of wrestlers, he had his issues. Here's something interesting. Dave Meltzer's reporting Dynamite this week. I mean, they've had a 0.08 rating many times, but that's the second lowest rating they ever had. They've had 0.07s before, but here's something that really tells you something. Okay, they did a 0.08 and 519,000 viewers. That rating was down 59% from last year. The rating was down 58.9%, and the viewership was down 16%. So they are dropping interest at a very alarming rate. And here's something else interesting for a geek like me. It's far more interesting than what happens on the TV show. Apparently, the two biggest draws in AEW on YouTube are Jon Moxley and Adam Copeland. They are by far the two biggest AEW draws on YouTube. That was reported. I noticed that today. It was in the Wrestling Observer this week. What's also noticeable is the 5 biggest stars on YouTube for WWE are Randy Orton, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Cody Rhodes. They dominate the list. So what's interesting is they just put the title on Drew McIntyre, and I get it. Cody Rhodes was stale as champion, but instead of putting the title on Orton, Reigns, or Lesnar, and maybe it has to do with the dates on their contracts, even though they're more over, they put it on Drew McIntyre. So that's very interesting. Someone says Ted DiBiase Jr. is the $1 million kid. We got a JCW fan on here. Glad to see that they're bringing in PCO. I mean, I like the girls' matches on there, and I like that it's a new product. I like that it's something very different.